Dag sê julle, welkom hierso by Boertjie in Australië. Ek moet net vir julle sê dankie vir al julle comments en julle shares en julle likes en al die goed. Waardeer dit opreg. Wil julle maar net 'n bietjie wys hierso besig is. Hier is 'n New Holland T9 450 net vir interessantheid. Laat aand geplant. Vroegoggend weer beginne, want hulle voorspel bietjie reën vir ons, so ja. Ek sal julle later bietjie details gee van alles wat waarmee ek nou tans besig is. So I just want to show you guys the interior of the New Holland T9. I just started up, so the software is just busy loading, but as you can see there's cameras to monitor the seat and to monitor at the back, and it's this is all the hydraulic levers. It's easy to operate with your fingers here. Joystick, all operations just on a thumb, and then a nice clear 360-degree view from the inside of the cab, and auto steer, so you can have the luxury of monitoring all your equipment, the seat at the back, the cart and everything. That makes it a real great tractor to operate. It's not one of the biggest, but it's about 405 horsepower, 398 kilowatt I think, and it's it gives us enough power to do the job that we needed to do. Just to show you guys, I got everything started up, and that's the auto steer going on a GPS, and that's my monitoring for the seat and the speed I'm going and at what rate. So yeah, in Australia they call it pasture cropping. So we're busy sowing an old pasture that we sprayed out. We're busy sowing winter wheat, and we work on a 4-year rotational system, so we rest 4 years and then we sow it again. And it's a multi-purpose wheat that we use for grazing as well. That is just for interest sake, for the guys that are interested in farming, and for the guys that does not know anything about farming. Well, guys, I gave you just a bit of information of what we're currently busy with, but just to come back to all the comments. Yes, I really appreciate it. I went through all of them, and just to want to use this video before we go on anything else. This is just to comment on some of the comments that were made. The one with the flies. You know what they say, Australian is friendly people. They keep on waving to you, and it's because they try to keep the flies out of their faces. And I enjoyed it's all to see where all the South Africans is, and spread right across the world, and commenting on each other's experiences. It just shows that we all went through a decision that was really hard to make, and we all went through a process to be able to do that. And I guess it wasn't easy for anyone, and all of the experiences of everyone wouldn't be the same. You know, that it'll differ because the circumstances and everything is not the same. And for people that's still in South Africa and contemplating what their move is got to be, it's not an easy choice. And I just wanna make a correction on a comment I made on a previous video about you know, Australian culture that's a lot the same. The thing is, you can never replace South African culture. You can't replace it with anything else. I mean, it's a culture on its own, and it's a country that's you can't replace that country. You're never going to get it into, you know, in another country. But what I meant is that, you know, we were looking to the closest resemblance to our culture and our country, and you know, and that is what we wanted to you know, move to, and to be able to make it easier for us. And South Africa was the closest for us. And I guess, you know, staying in a city and staying on a farm, it's there's a big difference staying out in the country and staying in a city. And I guess staying in Australia, in Sydney or in Perth, or you know, the bigger cities, you got city life, and it differs from city life in South Africa. I'm sure that it does. But the country life in Australia and the country life in South Africa, you know, that is the closest resemblance, especially on the farming and whatever, for us. And that's why we made the decision to you know, to immigrate to Australia. And part of the process of immigration is, you know, is that mind change. It's a big mind change. And different platforms like on Facebook, people commenting about their experience of immigration, you know, immigrating. And I think, you know, to be able to communicate and read through that, and just to see what the reason was for other people to make their decisions, and listening to the comments what everyone's decisions is it just helps you. It helps you a lot to, you know, to confirm what your decision was and why you made it, and maybe for people that's busy contemplating why they need to make the move, or do they need to make the move. And that's basically what it is. And just to come back to it, there's nothing that's going to replace South Africa and the culture and its people. But most of the times you take your culture with you. I mean, there's a lot of South Africans all over the world, and the communities, they all started their own community, and you can always join a community. Like one of the comments was one of the ladies that, you know, they tried to make it easier for South Africans that comes to Australia by getting Australian products in, and you know, selling their product and making it easier for them. So yeah, to join communities and to help you through that process, and to have a confirmation of is it the right decision that you have made. And I think that is important, and maybe a video like this would you know, help other people as well, to just to realize that, you know, you gotta go well, you're gonna go through a process, and that process is second guessing a lot of times. There's a lot of times you're second guessing. Anyway, I don't want to bore you with a video that's too long, and I just wanted to use this video to basically thank everyone on their comments, and there's a lot of new comments that I got to go through and just read about it, and I really appreciate it. So the next time we most probably try and do the process and where it all starts. And just to kick it off for now, I think the process of immigration is, it comes to why did the thought of immigration just, you know, why did the thought of it come into your head? I mean, if there wasn't issues in South Africa, I think no one of us would immigrate, and we would stay there for sure. We would. And then the other motivation of immigration is migration and immigration is, if it's one of the oldest thing in life. I mean, animals migrate, and birds immigrate or migrate, not immigrate, migrate. And my forefathers are, you know, Dutch descent and Scottish descent and Irish descent, and I think in the 1600s and in the 1700s they sort of, you know, immigrated to South Africa to start a new life there. And now, a few hundred years later on, we're on a big, history repeats itself, they say, you know. So South Africa is now in that era again of people immigrating to other countries and looking for new opportunities. So it's a way of life, I'd say. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it, and please participate in the comments. I really enjoy it, and we'll discuss the process in the next video. Thank you very much, guys.